Hello everyone, my name is Akanksha. I did my PhD from IIT Bombay in mathematics and currently I'm serving as an assistant professor at Manipal Institute of Technology. So as you can see, today's topic or today we are going to study calculation in geometry, but today's focus would be on 3D shapes. Part 1. So what does it mean? We have already started the topic calculation in geometry and we have covered 2D shapes already. So in 2D shapes, I have already told you what all kind of 2D shapes and the problems on 2D shapes you can expect in your exam. In part 1, we have covered all the problems, basic problems from all the shapes and some basic formulas. And in part 2, we have covered some a bit advanced problems on popular 2D shapes. In the similar way, we are going to start today 3D shapes and this would be part 1. So in this part, first of all, I will start with the introduction, then some basic 3D shapes, some basic formulas and some problems based on all the shapes we are going to introduce in today's video. And in the next lecture, I will be covering again some problems which you can expect in your exam and problems on some popular shapes because in 2D or in 3D shapes, there are many shapes. But generally, in exam, so if we see it from the exam point of view, you will observe that some shapes are more popular than others. So, in the next lecture, we are going to study or our focus would be on problem solving from the shapes which are more popular. So, let's get started with the introduction. So, geometry in CLAT exam primarily focuses on mensuration. So, what is mensuration means involving volumes, surface area, and basic properties of 3D shapes. So, I keep on telling you 3D shapes, 3D shapes, 3D shapes. But what is 3D shapes? What are 3D shapes? So, let me give you one basic examples and then we will go into all the shapes. So, you must have seen this kind of structure. Let me draw it. Right? What is this shape? So, you can see that it is a box or we call it cuboid. So, this is a cuboid or a cube. This is a 3D shape. What are 2D shape of the same structure? Just a square is a 2D shape. Can you see the difference? So, 3D shape are the one which you draw or the shapes in 3D plane, a plane of this form. So these are three sides x, y, and z. So anything in this, like in 2D shapes, this is a 2D shape. This is a circle. But similar thing in 3D will be on paper you will draw it like this, but it is a ball. So ball is in 3D. So you got it, no? Circle is just a circle, but ball is a solid 3D object which has volume, surface area, everything. So this is a 3D shape ball or we call it sphere. Okay. So I hope you got some idea. So 3D shapes such as cubes, cuboids, cylinder, cones, spheres and semispheres. I will be telling you all these shapes. Don't worry about it and what is mean by volume, surface area and other basic property. But this is the introduction. So basically in CLAT, you can expect problems. So given a shape and some dimension of the shape, how to calculate volume of the shape, how to calculate surface area of the shape or other basic properties. So for these type of problems, what you have to do is like I told you in 2D lecture, 2D shapes wala lecture, that you just have to remember the shape and the formula. That's all. So first shape in 3D is cube. I have already drawn it, but let's let me formally draw it. Cube. Cube is the one which has all sides equal. Okay? All sides of a cube are equal. So you can see that in a cube, how many sides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So total 12 sides, right? And all sides are equal. So let me call one side as A. So A is a side of a cube. So if A is given, you can calculate volume of a cube as A cube. So this is the formula. Volume of a cube is A cube if side is A is side of the cube. Okay. And surface area. Surface area is this outer surface. Okay. So cover everything. That is the surface area. Surface area is given by 6 into A square. So these formulas you have to remember. And what is mean by A? A is one side because in cube, all sides of a cube are equal. Okay. So that is your cube. Now, next shape is cuboid. What is cuboid? Cuboid looks like a cube, but the only difference is in cuboid, shapes or sides are different. Let me draw one cuboid for you. The cuboid may first you can draw a rectangle or two rectangles. You can see the difference, no? So this is a cuboid. And this is length. One side is this, one side is this, and one side is this. So let me call this side as L, means length or anything. This side as H, means height. And let's say this side is B. You can see that? And now these are the only different sides. And then this side and this side will be equal. These four sides. This one, this one, this one, and this one. These four sides will be of H length. This, this. These four sides will be L length. And then this, and this will be B. So in cuboid, all three sides are different. But in cube, all sides are A. Means this distance is also A and this height is also A. You got it? So, in the case of a cuboid, volume of a cuboid is given by L into B into H. It is similar to this one because here all sides were equal. So, it was A into A into A. So, A cube. Here, all three sides are different. So, L, one side is L, other side is B, third side is H. So L into B into H. Similarly, surface area of a cuboid is 2 times L into B, B into H and L into H. So multiply all the sides respectively. So H into L, H into B and B into L. Take all the combinations. All the combinations of two sides and multiply it by 2. It is again similar to this one. But here, all sides were equal. So that's why a square plus a square plus a square. So likewise. So again, if you want, you just do it and you will get the idea. Next shape is cylinder. So what is this cylinder shape? So we all know a cylinder in our house, right? So cylinder is this kind of shape. Let me draw it for you. This is a cylinder. Okay? You got it? This is a cylinder. So in cylinder, upper side is a circle, Lower side is again a circle, and here you can see a cylinder kind of shape. You got it? The shape? Now, in cylinder, let me draw it of bigger size. So this is your cylinder. In cylinder, you can see that here you have a circle. Here again, you can see a circle of same circle, right? And in circle, you know that for a circle, we have a center, and for circle, we have a radius, R. R is the radius of a circle. So here again, let's say this is the center of circle as well as center of the cylinder. Okay. So here, center, say you draw a line to this. This is R. That means radius. R is the radius of the cylinder, and other than radius, in cylinder you have one more parameter, that is the height from here to here. That is the height of the cylinder. So R is the radius of the cylinder, H is height of the cylinder. So this is a cylinder. You have height. So this can also, you can see this. This also you can consider as H. So all these are equal, right? And this, if you join, this is R. So this is your cylinder. Cylinder is this shape. You got it? Now, volume of a cylinder is this formula, pi R square into H. R is the radius, H is the height. Curved surface means this surface. You got it? This surface. So cover this whole surface. This is the curved surface. So just the boundary, okay? This hollow thing. This is the curved surface, and it is given by 2 pi r into h. So curved surface is 2 pi r into h. Now, then we have total surface area. Total surface area means this curved surface as well as this cylinder wala part. So total surface area will cover everything. This plus this plus this. And it is given by 2 pi r h into h plus r. So these formulas you have to remember. Okay. There is no other way. And you should know what is mean by what. What is mean by curved surface area? What is mean by total surface area? Surface area means the surface or the paper you will use to make that is shape. Got it? That is the surface area. So how much paper you need or cardboard you need to make that particular surface. Okay. Next shape is a cone. Cone, you can just assume, we have one ice cream, softy or cone ice cream. So just just keep that ice cream upside down. Let me draw so that you will get an idea. Again, a circle. Okay, circle with radius r. This is the height of the cone h. Oh, this is r. R is radius. This is height. And now you join this to this. Okay, it is difficult to draw a symmetric shape, isn't it? So let me draw it again. Let me draw a big cone. Huh. Okay. So this is height of the cone. Got it? So this point to this point is the height. Then join these two. This is the radius. And this length is L. So L is known as slant length. H is height. R is the radius. Okay, these are the three parameters when we talk about a cone. This is the shape of a cone. Now, volume of a cone is given by 1 upon 3 pi r square h. So here you don't need to use this L thing. So volume is given by 1 upon 3 pi r square h. Now, if r and h are given, you can calculate L, or in other words, this formula will give you L square is equal to R square plus H square. It is coming from Pythagorean theorem. We have already covered this in 2D shape. So L square is equal to R square plus H square. So this L square is equal to H square plus R square because it is making a right angle triangle. You can see that. So this is, so L, R and H. So this is H, this is R and this is L. So this is making a right angle triangle. So that is why it is, so you can apply Pythagorean theorem to calculate the third part. So L square is equal to R square plus H square. Okay. So now curved surface area. Curved surface area is the cone in ice cream. Just the cone part is the curved surface area and it is given by pi r and L. And total surface area is curved surface area which the the paper you use to form a cone plus this circle. So this circle plus this curved shape is your total surface area to form a cone, complete cone with means with that circle part also. So that is your total surface area. So total surface area is curved surface area, that is pi rl, plus the circle pi r square. This is the area of a circle. This part also we have covered in 2D part. So area of a circle. So curved surface area and total surface area. Next, sphere. Sphere is something like this, but it is a ball. So you got it. So like cricket ka ball or football kind of thing. So here you have center and this is the radius. So volume of a square is pi 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, this you have to remember, 4 by 3 pi r cube. And surface area is like paper. If you want to form a ball or a sphere, how much paper it will need? So just the outer surface, that is the surface area and it is given by pi r square. That is the surface area of a ball. Now, what is hemisphere? Now, what is hemisphere? Cut your ball into half. So, if you cut your ball into half, what kind of shape it will take? This, right? So, half ball. It is like half ball. That is your hemisphere. Let's say this is the center. Again, you just connect any line to any surface. It will be R, right? Because ball is uniform. So you are just cutting it into half. Now, volume of a hemisphere is half of the volume of the ball, isn't it? So it is half. So 2 by 3 pi r cube. Curved surface is just this part, this wala part. So curved surface is the curved wala surface. It is 2 pi r square. And total surface area is curved surface with this circle ka area. That is 3 pi r square. You got it? So for hemisphere is half of the sphere. Volume is again half of the volume of the sphere. Curved, here you have two type of surface area. Curved wala as well as total surface area. Curved surface area is 2 pi r square. Again, half of the surface area of complete ball, and total surface area is curved surface area plus the base, means base is the circle. So you can Assume that you have a circle and on this circle you have this hemisphere, right? This kind of thing. This is your hemisphere. Hemisphere is half of the sphere. Now, next is important tips for CLAT. So while solving these problems, what all things you have to keep into your mind. So visualize with 3D diagrams where possible. So try to visualize it. So wherever it is fair, just try to draw it or imagine it. If it is a cube, you should be knowing what is mean by cube. If it is a cuboid, you should be knowing what is mean by cuboid and all. Maintain unit consistency. So while solving the problems, I will tell you. So means so you have seen na every shape has its own parameters. Like in the case of cylinder, you have H and R. In the case of cone, you have H, R, and L. So remember all these heights like height, radius, or length should be in same unit. Either they should all be in inches or they should all be in centimeter or in meter. So that consistency is important before you go solving the problems. Then memorize standard formulas of volume as well as surface area, because here you have only two types of thing, volume or surface area. Then try to understand the relationship. What is mean by that? If you double the radius, what will happen to the volume? If you double the height, what will happen to the volume, and so on? So these type of problems we will cover one or two in today's lecture or in the next lecture. And then pay attention to the base radius and height in cones and cylinder. So remember, in cones and cylinder you have a base circle. So on circle you form a cone, on circle you form a cylinder. So while solving the problems you will get to know all those things. So now let's start with some problems. So first problem, as you can see, is on cube, right? So as you see cube, the shape should be clear to your mind. So if you remember, cube is a shape of this form. And what is the best thing about cube? Shape of, sorry, sides are equal. All sides are equal. So we have denoted it by A. Remember, A, height is also A. So all sides are equal. So here it is given what is the volume of cube with side 5 centimeter. So here it is given A is equal to 5 centimeter. You have to calculate volume. So this formula you should be knowing. Volume of a cube. Volume of a cube is A cube. So if you don't remember the formula, just go back and check. So this is the shape cube, volume is A cube, where A is the side of the cube. So A cube. So you just have to multiply 5 three times. 5 into 5 into 5. So it is 125 centimeter cube, because we are multiplying centimeter three times. So it becomes centimeter cube. So option A is correct. So problems are easy. You just should be knowing the shape and the formula. That's all. Next problem is on cuboid. A cuboid has dimension 4 centimeter, 5 centimeter, and 6 centimeter. What is its surface area? So shape is cuboid, dimensions are given, and you have to calculate surface area. So first thing, you should be knowing the shape of the cuboid. Remember, cuboid is cube kind of shape, but all sides of are different, right? Okay. Mm. It's difficult to draw shapes. So this is the one. So let's say this is the longest one. So let me call it 6. Let me call 5, and this one is 4. Remember the shape cuboid? What is the formula for surface area of cuboid? Surface area of a cuboid is equal to 2 times. You have to multiply these pairwise. Remember, L into B B into H plus H into L. So L is the longest one. Let me call it 6. B is anything 5 and H, actually H is 5. B is the width. Width is 4. Just substitute. So 2 into L into B is 6 into 5. Oh, sorry. 6 into 4. B into H is 4 into 5. H into L is 5 into 6. So just do this calculation. 6 into 4 is 24. 4 into 5, 20. 5 into 6 is 30. So 2 times, just add them up. It is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 3 is 774. So 2 into 74 is 148. So option A is correct. So if you don't remember the formula, because you should be knowing this formula, just go back and check cuboid, no? So see, this is the formula. So look at the shape and use the formula to solve the problem. Third, so here the radius of a cylinder. So in this problem, focus is on cylinder. So shape should be clear in your mind. So radius of a cylinder is 7 centimeter. Radius we generally denoted by R. R is 7 centimeter. And height is 10 centimeter. Height we generally denoted by H. H is 10 centimeter. What is the volume? The volume of a cylinder. So you don't need to always draw the shape, but so that you can remember, I'm drawing it. But if you know the representation, like radius is denoted by R, height is denoted by H, you don't need to draw the shape. You just have to apply the formula. So, but for practice and by seeing it repeatedly, shape will be clear in your mind. That is why I will be drawing the shapes for you. So volume of a cylinder, this formula you have to go and check. So let's see. Cylinder, volume of a cylinder is pi r square h. So pi r square h. So you know r, you know h, and pi is a constant. Pi u is given in your question. So pi is 22 upon 7 into r square, that means 7 into 7, and then h, that is 10. So 7 is 7, 1 7 will get cancelled. So 22 into 7 into 10. This is the answer. So 7 into 22, this you have to compute, is 4 and 1 5 into 10. And this is 1540 centimeter cube. Again, because our radius is in centimeter, height is in centimeter. So radius into radius is 2 centimeter, means centimeter into centimeter into centimeter. So that's why centimeter cube. So again, option A is correct. So you can see that you should be knowing the formula and how we denote what. Like radius is denoted by R, height is denoted by H, and the shape. And that's all. Next problem is on cone. So what is the curved surface area of a cone? So remember, cone is that ice cream wala cone with radius R centimeter and slant height L. Slant height is 5 centimeter. Again, you can see that units are uniform. Both are given in centimeter. So you should be knowing that what is radius. Radius be denoted by R. So R is given to be 3 centimeter. What is slant height? Slant height is denoted by L in our formula. It is given by 5. So let me draw a cone. So radius of a circle is 3 centimeter. And then let me draw height. This is H. This we don't need, I guess. And this is your L, slant height. So this is your cone, right? This is your cone. Now you have to compute curved surface area. Curved surface area is the material you need to form a cone. Just this curved wala. without this base circle. So curved surface area is equal to, let me check the formula. Cone is here. Curved surface area is pi r into L. So is pi r and L. Pi is given in your question. It is 3.14 into r is 3 centimeter. L slant height is 5. So you just have to compute this. 3.15 into 3 into 5 is 15. So this you have to compute. It should come out to be, let's do this multiplication, something around 30. Let's see. So 3.14 into 5. So 5 se we will do multiplication. 5 into 1 is 5 plus 7. 5 into 3 is 15. Into then 1 say 4, 1 and 3. Add them up 0. 7 and 4 is 11. One remainder is 7. This is 4. So decimal after 2. So 47.10, option A. So it is 47.1 and 0. It is centimeter square because centimeter into centimeter. Next problem. Next is sphere. Sphere, remember? Sphere is this shape, but it is a ball. Radius r. So what is given? What is the total surface area of a sphere with radius r? So r is given to be 7 centimeter. Pi is 22 upon 7. You have to compute surface area. What is mean by surface area of a ball? So the material you need, not the full material, but the outer surface you have to form for a ball. So how much paper you need, or if you want to wrap a ball, so how much paper you need, or if you want to just stick a paper on a ball, so how much paper do you need? That is the surface area. So let's look at the formula. So sphere surface area is pi r, 4 pi r square. So this is your surface area, right? 4 pi r square. So it is 4 times pi r square. So you know pi, you know r. Now substitute. So 4 into pi is 22 by 7. R is 7. R square is 7 into 7. 1 7 will get cancelled with other one. So 4 into 22 into 7. This you have to do this multiplication. 4 into 22 is 88. 88 into 7. This we have to do. 88 into, you have to multiply 88 by 7. So 7 into 8 is 48, right? Again, 7 into 8 is 48. 48 plus 4 is 52, I guess. 5, no. Just a minute. What is this? 7 into 8 is 56, right? So 7 into 8 is 56, not 48. That is 6. 5 remainder, again 56. It will be 61. So option A is correct again. So you just have to do this multiplication correctly. Centimeter square, that is the surface area. Volume of a cone with radius 6 centimeter and height 12 centimeter. So cone, we are talking about cone. So first thing, radius. Radius we generally denoted by r. So r is 6 centimeter. Height we generally denoted by h. That is 12 centimeter. So these two things are given and pi is given to be 3.14. You have to compute volume of a cone. So remember, volume is this shape. Sorry, cone is this shape. So this to this is r and this height is h. So you have to compute volume. Remember the formula? If not, just go cone. So yeah, volume of a cone is given by 1 upon 3 pi r square h. 1 upon 3 pi r square h. I guess I have written it correctly. R square h. Yes, correct. Now, you know pi, you know r, you know h. Everything is given. So 1 upon 3 as it is into pi is 3.14. R square means 6 into 6. H means 12. So this you have to do. This computation, this multiplication you have to do. So 3 say 6 will get cancelled in 2 times. Right? So let me remove this 1 by 3 wala factor. So you have 3.14 into 2 into 6 into 12. So 3.14, let me keep it as it is. 6 into 2 is 12 into 12. 12 into 12 is 144, right? 144. This multiplication you have to do. Let me use my calculator for doing this multiplication, right? So let me do that. 144 into 3.14. It is equal to, so you can also use your calculator if calculator is allowed. Otherwise, you have to do it by hand. Centimeter cube. So this is the answer. So again, so by chance it is option A always because I only framed these problems. But in your exam, you cannot expect that for all the questions, option A would be correct. Okay. So calculate the answer and then choose your option correctly. Okay. So that is your surface area. Oh, sorry, volume of the cone. Next problem is on hemisphere. Remember, hemisphere is half of the ball, right? So radius is given. Radius we denoted by r, 5 centimeter. So hemisphere is this shape. Remember, so half of the ball. So this to this is r. So everything is r actually. Now what you have to compute? Surface area of a hemisphere means complete surface area. What is the formula for that? Hemisphere is equal to that we have to check. Let's go into, so surface area is pi r square, 3 pi r square. So this, let me write it there. And so here you can see that only one parameter is used when we talk about sphere or hemisphere, that is the radius. So it is 3 pi r square. So let me write it down. Is 3 pi r square. R is given, right? So 3 is a constant. Pi is given to be 3.14. In the problem itself, it is given, right? So that exactly you have to use into r square. R square means 5 into 5. Again, you have to do this multiplication. 3 into 3.14 into 5 is 25. So 3.14, 25 into 3 is 1 is 75. Sorry. Let me use my calculator to do this calculation. Okay. So 3.14 into 75 is equal to 235.5. It is 235.5. So what would be the unit? Just check. R square. So R is with centimeter. So centimeter into centimeter, that means centimeter square. This is the correct answer. Again, option A is correct. So you can see, no, if you know the formula, doing these problems is pretty simple. Next is a cylinder and cone. Okay, cylinder and cone have the same base and height. Same base means, remember, So let me draw a cylinder first. Cylinder is this shape. Cone is this shape. So what they are saying, height and base are same. So let me draw it one more time. Let's say this is the base, means that this is radius, this is height. On these two parameter, cone is formed. Let's say this is cone, and on this same thing, cylinder is also formed. This would be the cylinder, right? Isn't it? So height and radius of cylinder as well as cone are the same. The volume of the cone is what fraction of the cylinder. So volume of cone is to volume of a cylinder. This you have to compute. So first thing, you can see that volume of a cone will be lesser than volume of a cylinder, isn't it? Because in cylinder you have, because in cylinder, in the cylinder you have this part extra, which is not there in the cone. So just write the formula for volume of the cone and formula for volume of a cylinder. Do you remember volume of a cone? I don't remember. Let's check. Volume of a cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Let me write it down. Volume of a cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h is to volume of a cylinder. Cylinder का volume is pi r square h. Pi r square h. How do we compute this? So just divide it. So 1 upon 3 pi r square h upon pi r square h. So you will be left with 1 upon 3. So it is 1:3 ka ratio. So it is 1 by 3. Option A. So ratio they don't want. They just want what is the fraction. So cone ka volume is 1/3 of the volume of the cylinder. So for these type of problem, the shape should be clear into your mind. And then formula. Formula and then what to do. So you have to calculate the fraction. That means divide cone ka area with cylinder ka area. Whatever is written first, that should be in the numerator. What is written in the second, that should be in the denominator. Next problem. What is the volume of a sphere of radius 3? So radius is denoted by r, 3 centimeter. Remember, sphere is the shape. It is a ball. So volume of a sphere. What is the volume of a sphere? Let's go back and check. Shape is a sphere. Volume is 4 by 3 pi r square, pi r cube. 4 by 3, it is 4 by 3 pi r cube. R is given, right? And even pi is given in the question. So 4 by 3 into pi is 3.14 into r cube. That is 3 into 3 into 3. Cube means 3 times you have to multiply. So 1 3 will get cancelled with 1 3. So you will be left with 4 into 3.14. That is the value of pi to 3 into 3. This you have to do. 4 into 3.14. 3 into 3 is 9. Then 3.14. 9 into 4 is 36. Let me compute this one using my calculator. Okay. 3.14 into 36. And it is 113. It is 113.04. And what should be the unit? So see, this is the formula. R cube. R is given in centimeter. So centimeter into centimeter into centimeter. So centimeter cube. Again, option is correct. You got it? Again, you should know the maybe shape as well as how do we denote something. And then the formula. Formula is the most important thing. Next problem is on cube. Remember, cube is this type of shape where all sides are equal. It doesn't look like equal, but in cube, all sides are actually equal. This is the cube. Area is given by 150 centimeter cube square. What is the length of one side? So area is given, surface area. What is the formula for surface area, the cube? I remember. It is 6a square if a is a side. So let's go back and check if I am correct. Cube. Yes, it is. Oh, sorry. 6a square. What I have written is 6a square. I have written it correctly. So this is given. Surface area is 150 centimeter square. It is equal to, formula is 6a square. So you just have to compute a, right? So just take this 6 on that side. So this will give you a square is equal to 150 upon 6, right? So just compute this 150 upon 6. So they will get cancelled in 3 times. So 5 and 0, 3 to 2. So 2 se 50 will get cancelled in 25. So a square is equal to 25. So a is equal to under root of plus minus under root of 25, and that is equal to 5 because 5 into 5 is 25. So 5 centimeter is the answer because a is equal to plus minus root 25. So this is not correct. Remember, it is positive root centimeter. So again, option A is correct. I hope all problems are clear. And these are some practice problems so that you can practice by yourself. If you face any difficulty, go back, listen, and watch the lecture again. Keep on listening. Remember the shape, remember the formulas, and how do we denote height of a sphere of a shape? How do we denote radius of a shape? What is mean by slant height? All these things you should be knowing. These are the problems, and again, we will be covering the same topic again in the next lecture by some a bit advanced topic and on the shapes which are more popular when it comes to exam. So yeah, that's all for today's lecture. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and again, I'm telling you, if you face any difficulty, go watch the lecture again, and if you face any difficulty in solving any problem, whether it is given in the lecture or from your previous year questions, you can write to me and I will try to immediately get back to you. So, all the best for your exam. See you in the next lecture.